И вновь здравствуйте, господа и дамы, с вами Севен, и мы продолжаем проходить такую замечательную игру, как Noir. В предыдущей серии мы с вами неплохо так продвинулись вперед, мы проявили пленку, прошантажировали товарища ГП, и, в общем-то, как его там, Говард Пол, или не помню, в общем, вы поняли, о ком я. И, в общем-то, пробрались в кабинет Марсетти, получили то, что нам нужно, но так уж вышло, что, по-моему, нас запалили. И почему, по-моему, так и есть, нас запалили, но мы ушли с уликами. И теперь мы идем, точнее, даже не с уликами, а просто с очень полезной штучкой. И сейчас мы ее вручим Славански. Чувак, помоги.
Your old man deciphered codes, right?
Da.
Can you decipher this notebook?
Del Nero, deciphering skill isn't something you inherit. I never had my old man's passion for codes, and I never mixed up with his job.
So you don't have any idea about how I could read what's written in this notebook?
I can tell you that most of the codes used to hide information are based on substitution cipher.
Небось, книжечку нам сейчас выдастся и типа сам делай.
The emperor of ancient Rome used to code his messages using a cipher based on the shifting of each letter by one or more positions. If you assume that you shift each letter by one, then A would become B, the B would become C, and so on. If you find out what exact number is shift, you get information that you look for.
It's easier than I thought.
Before you say it, I suggest you try it.
Oh.
Slavansky, this is the first time since I've met you that I have a reason to think you're more than just a stingy landlord.
Del Nero, maybe our relationship would change today, but don't think I won't toss you out on your ear if you don't pay rent.
And don't you think that I'm going to start taking your threats seriously.
Киюшки, как нам это сделать?
It's the notebook I found. I tried to take a peek at it, but it's all mumbled. I need to figure out how to read it, but I can't think of how.
Так это...
I'll try to use the method that...
О боже. А это что такое? Что? Ой, мамочка. Итак, ребят, я надеюсь, вам понравилось это прохождение. На этой серии оно завершается. Хватит, по-моему. Это же ужас. Слушайте, а циферка 15 это сдвиг, значит, да? О боже, мне нужен английский алфавит, как я. Я так быстро не смогу. Если А, то есть... Ага, боже, подожди, я так не могу, мне нужен алфавитинг. Боже мой. А это что такое, кстати говоря? Может, это места? Кстати, может, действительно найдем... Даже сейчас я посчитаю. Хотя нет, вряд ли. Тройное какое-то. Господи, боже мой. Так, ну... 11-12? На 3. Вот, на 3 надо сообразить. Господи, сейчас я запутаюсь. Я начинаю путаться. Так, стоп, мне реально нужен этот самый алфавитинг. Вообще, я, конечно, не знаю, читерство это или нет, но, наверное, все-таки нет, потому что это как-то тяжеловастенько, так, навскидку даже вспомнить. Это здесь на 1, кстати, да, я так понимаю? Да? А, вот оно, значит, то есть он сам. Ой, какая прелесть. А, слушайте, ну и хорошо тогда. А, здесь 15 букв, да? Нет, даже не получается здесь 15 букв. А что это за 15 такое? Может, это на что-то другое? А единица тогда почему? Блин. Хрен поймешь. О, господи. Ну ладно, попробуем. А, кстати, не обязательно алфавит. Вот же у нас для идиотов. Ну, хорошо. Так, ну, слава богу. Так, подожди. Нет, какая-то хрень, по-моему, получается, потому что... Ну что это? Не то. Так, отменяем.
Nothing.
Да я понимаю.
It's the notebook I found. I tried to take a peek at it, but I need to figure.
Так, подожди.
I'll try to.
Давай. Надо понять, насколько. Все-таки вот эта штучка не за это, да, отвечает. Значит, не на один сдвиг. Хорошо, попробуем на 2. Точно не на 2, хорошо. Попробуем на 3. Раз, два, 3. Вот вышечка. Раз, два, 3. Little... Little Italy. Маленькая Италия. Все, мы решили эту загадку. Ребята, это оказалось не так сложно. Реально, здесь И будет. Да? Литле. Уху. Все. Так, это будет А. Это я уже вижу. Все, ребят. Ура! Маленькую штучку нашли. Ура, хорошо, супер. Все замечательно. Ах. Фу, слава богу. Не так сложно. F. Сейчас мы быстренько. Раз, два, 3. Подожди. Раз, два, 3. Чика. Что-нибудь такое, да? Q. Раз, два, 3. Чайна-таун, что ли? Ребята, это оказалось реально легче, чем я думала. Я прям напряглась. Да, это Чайна-таун. Даже можно не смотреть. То есть, как бы все видно. Фу, ну слава богу. Раз, два, 3. Я реально, я очень напряглась. Раз, два, 3. А оказалось, вот Бруклин. Оказалось-то все так просто, господи. Так, все хорошо. Раз, два, 3. Подожди. Раз, два, 3. Queen. О, все хорошо. Ой, прям, слушайте, вот не поверите, как камень просто с плеч. Вот реально, я очень напряглась. У меня с загадками такого рода обычно проблемы. Опа. Что такое? Подожди. Раз, два, 3. Че, я здесь что-то не то нажала? Раз, два, 3. А, это В, простите. Раз, два, 3. Это что такое? Это Г или что это? Сделаем вид, что это... Это же не А, правильно, это Г. Раз, два, 3. Да, это Г. Все, слава богу. У меня реально с такими загадками обычно очень большие проблемы. Ой, стоп. Что я сделала? Л. Раз, два, 3. Так, G. Раз, два, 3. И. Раз, два, 3. Ой, так, пешечку забыла. Раз, два, 3. Чё? А. Раз, два, 3. Так вот, Y. Раз, два, 3. А вот сишечка. Эмочка.
Good. Now that I have figured out how the code works, nothing can stop me from sticking my nose into Marzetti's business.
Hell yeah.
Written in this booklet, there are pages and pages of names of people working for Black Lily. Starting from delivery boys and police officers and going all the way up to cardinals and politicians. The more you read, the higher the rank of the mentioned person. I wouldn't be surprised to find God's name at the end of the list. But I don't have to get all the way to the end of the list to find the name that I was looking for, the name that I knew that I was going to find. I just had to get halfway through the booklet to find Leroy Malone's name.
Кто бы сомневался.
Maybe this will be the most idiotic thing that I'll ever do in my life, but nothing will stop me from getting into that department and shoving proof about Marzetti's ties to Black Lily in his face.
Вообще-то это действительно очень глупая затея Дель Неро. Правда. Вот сохранимся перед этим делом. Я, кстати, по-моему, забыла после предыдущей... Нет, не забыла, смотрите-ка. На всякий случай. Слушайте, реально эта загадка оказалась намного легче. Не знаю, может мне просто так повезло, хотя, по-моему, логично. Сперва от одного начать, потом со второго. Но вот как я только увидела Little, все, это, по-моему, сказала сразу за себя.
Hey, you.
Что? Мне же раньше можно было.
If you're looking for Lieutenant Malone, you're not lucky at all. He left half an hour ago.
Да что ты?
Where'd he go?
I don't know, but he left this for you.
Что там? Телефонный номер?
Malone has disappeared. The only thing he left is this piece of paper with a number on it. 555-7589.
Подозрительно. Ладно. У вас тут есть телефон, товарищ инспектор? Ладно, не важно. Идемте домой. Позвонякаем.
Wait.
Да, домой. Домой.
Essex Street.
We see.
Так, ну слушайте, после какого-то периода диких затупов у меня мозг, по-моему, реабилитировался. Слава богу. Хотя я пожалею, наверное, что я сказала это.
Hello.
Так, давай другой номер.
What's the number?
7589 там было, да? Да, вот он.
555-7589.
Coming up.
Hello?
Malone, is that you?
Del Nero. I'm happy to see you got my message.
Yeah, and I have also found out a couple of interesting things about you.
You don't know nothing, Del Nero.
Небось под
You're on
прикрытием
Marcetti's
какой-нибудь.
payroll. I know that. You think it's enough?
So go report me to the head detective. No, wait. Go tell the police chief in person.
Ну да, он
If you
небось
don't know
под
their names,
прикрытием
you can find
работает.
them in that notebook you took from Marcetti.
Наверное.
I see you know about the notebook.
I was informed about it.
Let me guess. You were the one that Marcetti was
Ah.
talking to when he realized that I
прикрытием.
wasn't just one of the many detectives passing through his joint.
Ладно, у меня
Looks
была
like you
надежда, что он не
listened to the
такой козел.
telephone call.
Yeah.
Del Nero, this is too big for you. This isn't some jealous wife who kills her husband or some rich guy knocked off because of a will. Get out of the city. Take the girl with you if you want, but disappear forever.
Thanks for the advice, but I intend to get to the bottom of this.
Why did you do it? It's certainly not to get justice for your old pal McLean.
Could be. After all, he gave his life to protect a kid. I think he deserves it.
I didn't take you for such a sentimental guy.
Everyone has his defects.
Del Nero, if you really want to know what's going on, be at Ellis Island in a half an hour, then I'll tell you everything.
Ellis Island? Who's to say it isn't just a trap?
No one, but I'm sure you'll be there. You're a guy who's more curious than careful.
Ellis Island. Half an hour.
Don't be late.
Ну, черт. Дель Неро, что ж ты такой... Ты смерти своей ищешь, что ли? Нам кружка. Учитывая особенно то, как началась эта игра. Хотя нас там застрелили не на острове, это обнадеживает.
You know how to get to Ellis Island?
What you want to do at Ellis Island in middle of night?
Yep.
Just answer the question.
Of course I know get to Ellis Island.
Тогда веди.
Okay, let's go.
Ой.
Ellis Island. Any immigrant who came to improve his lot in this country knows this island. This is where they put you the first time you set foot in America. As soon as you get off the boat, a guy with an elegant white lab coat visits you. If you don't have health or mental problems, you're allowed to enter the registration room. There, some kind of inspector asks you all kinds of information about you. Where you were born, how much money you have, and if you have a criminal record. If you answer correctly to all these questions, welcome. Starting today, you're part of the grand old USA too.
Ну да, он же итальяшка у нас, Дель Неро. Он знает про это. О, как темно. Ну, смотрите, как красиво-то на самом деле.
The Statue of Liberty. When I got to New York, it was the first thing I saw. A Powerful and proud woman with a torch full of hope, shining her light on the entire world. But today, that hope has turned into melancholy. Melancholy for everything we could have become in this country, but didn't. It could be a nice keychain if it weren't as tall as a skyscraper.
Ладно, пойдем. Здрасте, Мэлоун.
Hi, Del Nero.
Malone.
A man was killed at the Melville port tonight by the usual suspects. That's basically what I was supposed to write in the report about the McLean homicide. That's what Black Lily ordered me to do. But something changed their plans. Your friend was able to escape, hide the girl, and call the police. And if that wasn't enough, he decided to call you too. He knew that the people who were looking for him wouldn't have had any problems buying the silence of some lieutenant or even of the
Так ты все-таки
police.
под прикрытием или
So
нет?
he needed someone he considered to be incorruptible. You.
Sean always thought too much of my honesty.
Even before escorting you to the department, I had instructions to frame you. You had a history with McLean, and that made things easier for me. The point was to keep you here until the men from Black Lily, disguised as forensics, collected everything they needed from the port.
A perfect plan.
Right. But your friend got involved, paying your bail and pointing you to the trail of the real killers of your former colleague. Even if you were out on bail, I never thought you'd make it all the way to Marseille.
It seems that, as a detective, I'm not a complete washout yet. And it also seems that you are not as honest as the award hanging in the police department affirms with so much pride.
Well, that isn't just a simple award, Del Nero. It's a promissory note on my soul.
Explain that.
I received that award from Mayor Weston for having caught Samuel Cutter, the former boss of Black Lily here in New York.
Yes, I know the case. And I'm also smart enough to understand that not everything is as rosy as it seems.
Cutter wasn't well seen, and the organization didn't like him. They knew that with the public opinion against them, getting control over the city wouldn't have been as easy as it had been in the past. So they decided to get Cutter and all the people connected to him arrested. At least, that's what they wanted the people to believe. Actually, the only ones who ended up in the slammer were simple collaborators and a few small-time crooks. In some cases, even regular folks who for some reason had a debt with him.
Patrick Olson.
Now, he was one of the many.
Malone, why are you telling me this story?
Because you are my only chance at redemption, Del Nero, at least in part for everything I've done over the years.
Все-таки
You
не под
think that by
прикрытием.
letting
Это
me
было бы
live,
глупо,
I'll
да.
destroy
Не
an organization like Black
сходилось бы.
Lily? Malone, I'm a private detective, not a superhero in a kid's comic book.
I'm not expecting anything from you, Del Nero. But given how the organization is persisting on looking for the girl, I guess she's got to be pretty important to them. And if they can't find her, maybe something might change.
They'll get rid of you as soon as they figure out what you're doing.
If that's how things are supposed to go, let them.
What are you planning to do now?
Nothing. I'll just wait and see what happens. And there's no better place to do that than in front of a huge statue that symbolizes justice.
Whatever you want.
Well, good luck, Del Nero. May destiny smile on you.
I don't believe in destiny, Malone.
I'm sure.
Трус ты, Мэлоун,
I leave
оказывается.
Malone with his thoughts and go away. Maybe his advice to get a change of scene isn't as bad as it seems. Maybe that's what I should do. I should disappear. All of a sudden, a hiss interrupts my thoughts, and then silence again, a silence full of death. Malone crumples over as if he were without a skeleton, a limp body that hits the floor. Then a second hiss, a sharp pain in my neck. I fall on my knees. My muscles aren't responding to me. Anesthetic. My vision starts to get cloudy. I fall into darkness.
Упс. Опять Шон? Да ладно. Да ну не надо.
I hate people who are late, and the guy that I'm waiting for should have been here more than an hour ago. I can't stand it. I can't stand any of the reasons why people are late. Whether they didn't plan their time properly, had a problem, or even worse, know that the person who's waiting for them doesn't have a choice. The man that should have been here an hour ago has documents that I need to have if I want to leave this state with the girl. Without those, I would have to stay in this dump for who knows how long. All of a sudden, the joint's door starts to creak. Someone's coming in. A horrible stench of cologne fills me nostrils. It's him.
Турок?
It's Smiley.
А, Смайли. Ух ты же,
He sits down at the bar and starts talking like we were old friends. I cut him short and I ask him if he has what I need. He puts the documents on the table, a nautical passport and a permit to let the girl get on board. He
Офигеть.
tells me that the passport is missing the photograph and that I'll have to get one myself. Then he takes a napkin and writes a name. Sainte Marie de la Mer. This is the name of the ship that I have to take to leave New York. Getting on a mercantile ship pretending to be a sailor is the only way that I have found to leave the state. And according to what Smiley says, I'll have to get to Brooklyn to do so. I expressly asked to set sail from Newark, but Smiley doesn't seem to have understood. I'm grasped by an incredible desire to punch him in the face, but it's not the time. I give Smiley the money. $50. Too much for false documents, but not that excessive considering that they are the only way to save me life. After taking the money, Smiley sputters something that sounds like good luck and leaves. Taken with him the stench of his cologne dabbed on in the hope of hiding the chemical stench of the crap he works with all day. Ridiculous. The guy that I almost put in the slammer a few years back for forging documents is now the same guy from whom I'm buying me freedom. Destiny is a strange thing.
Охренеть. Вон она что. Вот что это заработка-то, про которую он говорил. Нифигашечки ж. Какая хорошая локация. Прям красиво. Что он тебя колбасит?
A metal ashtray. I'm in the middle of nowhere with a stolen car and a girl that I don't even know. What a great situation.
Он ружье там начищает?
No, better let her sleep. That could be helpful.
Да ладно. Долбанул, что ли, это
I
застрелил?
don't have any idea what I could do with it, but I'll take it anyway.
Да, Шон, ты логичностью Дель Неро не отличаешься. То есть ты как типичный персонаж из квестов, который берет все, что попало под руку. Дель Неро не такой.
Ketchup, napkins, and various condiments. Everything that you need to give flavor to the swill they serve in this place. I don't need it.
Слава богу. Это что?
These are the documents that Smiley brought me.
А что ты положил? Что ты их сразу-то не взял?
Better take them.
Да уж, лучше.
John Ford? That idiot Smiley used the first name he thought of to falsify these documents. Knowing him, I should have checked them out before giving him the money. But apart from breaking his nose, there isn't much I could have done. I'll need to leave this state as soon as possible, and I definitely don't have time to redo the documents considering that I need a photograph for them to be useful.
Черные волосы, голубые глаза. Джон Форд. Нет, эта музыка на фоне вот, в игре за Шона, она как-то...
Jefferson Davis, Alexander Stevens, and other guys who a few decades ago wanted America's secession. Fantastic. All I needed was secessionist nostalgia. Not for me, thanks.
Хорошо. Что это там, мусорка?
A spittoon. Interesting metaphor for this place. I hate people who spit.
Аналогично.
It's a cash register. I
Здрасте,
bet that
дядя.
if I looked up the word yokel in the dictionary, I'd find a photograph of this guy.
What do you want, stranger?
Is this your place?
Yes, and the rifle I keep in my hands as well.
I see that there's a warm welcome in this house.
My friend, this place sees mostly farmers and truck drivers, and I don't like you, your little friend, and that guy who came in a while ago.
I'm just passing through.
I hope it. City slickers don't do well here.
I have to go.
Okay.
Так, а чё? Чё мне надо сделать-то? Документы у нас есть, пепельница, его долбануть не надо?
It doesn't make any sense.
Ну а смысл тогда было подбирать?
Sainte Marie. Saint...
Там было отчетливо
It's
написано.
a terrible idea.
Почему? А ребенок встаем,
No.
пойдем. А что делать-то? Что вы от меня хотите? Мы все
Confederate
получили,
flag.
уходим.
I hate Confederates.
Уходим тогда. Офигеть. А девчонку оставили, это норм, да? У нас машинка, что ли, не работает или что?
One of the gas pumps is leaking. The pail is used to catch the leaking gas.
А, понятно. Сейчас нахлебаем, да?
It's a terrible...
Нет?
What should I use?
А взять ведро,
It's a terrible...
заправить машину, плохая идея?
No. It doesn't make... No.
Зачем тогда?
No,
Да чё, нота? А, ну вот. Странно, ладно, неважно. А почему сразу в машине нельзя было? Или подожди, что... А, не, он немножко не то делает. А, чё... а, он просто тупо пошел. Я почему-то думала...
I don't see why. No,
Ладно, давайте сперва все
it's
осмотрим.
the car I used to... Considering who I stole it from, I don't think it'll be reported as stolen. Before I go
Поехали.
back to New York, I need to figure out the problem with the
А,
photograph.
фото. Вот оно что. Все понятно. Может, там где-нибудь в подсобке какая-нибудь старая фотокамера?
How special. I guess I couldn't expect champagne and caviar in these parts.
Какой гурман.
It's a sort of photographic set. There are some wires running under the platform. This stuff probably needs to be plugged in.
Вот.
It doesn't work. I don't think it's plugged in. There's some wire. It doesn't. I don't think
Так, включи.
a cornfield. It's in bad shape.
Не люблю кукурузные поля, они навевают мысль о детях кукурузы. Если вы понимаете, о чем я.
An oil lamp.
Так какого ж хрена-то тогда?
It's the wick.
Ну и чё,
It's better to hook it up to the.
Я-то понимаю, но...
It doesn't make.
А почему он не хотел подлить туда ничего?
No.
Я понимаю.
It's better to hook it up.
Ну так
An oil lamp.
вставь его в лампу.
It's better to hook it up.
Так, лампа.
Before I.
Лампа, 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 лампа. Подожди.
I don't need any.
Так, хорошо. Подожди, где там ведро-то было? Вот оно. Нет, подождите, наверное, надо лампу сперва найти. Где-нибудь выкрутить, может, ее тут. О, подожди.
Ketchup, nap, everything. I don't need.
Нет? Касса.
Bottles of whiskey. That panel definitely powers up the photography set that's outside here. If I could get my hands on it, I could turn on that device. If I get near it, that yokel owner wouldn't think twice about pumping me full of lead.
Давай долбанем его этой... Как его звать-то?
It's a
Пепельницей.
terrible idea.
По-моему, отличная.
I bet that if I looked up the word.
То есть еще
You
раз.
again, stranger?
Is that cornfield back there yours?
Did the Winchester send you?
No one sends me. Who are the Winchesters?
Кажется, я знаю, что нужно
Sons
сделать
of
с
bitches who
керосином.
bought the
Поджечь
farm
поле.
back there a few months ago.
You don't seem to like them that much.
Nah, they're good for nothing. You just have to look at how they keep their farm. The only thing they know how to do is drink and smoke on the porch.
And why should they send someone to ask questions?
Because the other night I shot one of them in the ass. Those bastards, after dusk, they come to the back of my gas pump and they start playing with their guns. They shoot at whatever they see. I warned them that even if one of those bullets touch my pumps, the whole place is gonna blow up. But they didn't listen. So the other night, as soon as I heard them shooting, I went out and I shot one of them in the ass. And that idiot ran away yelling like a little girl.
Good story.
Stranger, this isn't a big city. This is how we take care of things around here. And the same goes for you. Give me crap and I'll turn your city ass into a calendar.
Just point your gun at me once and I'll show you the difference between your old piece and my revolver.
Huh.
How does this camera out here work?
What do you want to know?
Фоточку
When I'm not
хочу.
talking to yokels, I dabble in photography.
Huh.
So, does that thing outside work or not?
No. I only use it when the Bunyan Derby goes by.
Bunyan Derby. What the hell is that?
Every March the 3rd, a marathon comes by from Los Angeles. About 200 idiots for 3 months trudge along Route 66 to New York. When they go by, they all want a photograph to remember their achievement. So I bought that thing there.
I need to take a photograph.
This is a gas station, not a photographer's lab. You need a photograph? Do like everyone else does and go see old Elliot in town. That old half-wit'll be more than happy to have a new customer.
I need it now.
And that's your problem, stranger.
I have to go.
Okay.
Ладно, ладно. Не хочешь по-хорошему, будем по-плохому. Кукурузное поле, говоришь?
What should I use?
Пойдем. Пойдем. Спалим к чертям его поле. Хотя, я думаю, вряд ли это сработает. Это скорее для лампы.
It doesn't make any.
Ну да.
It does.
А жаль.
It's a terrible. It doesn't. I don't see why. No.
Так, ладно, мне нужна лампа.
It's a rain tank. Impossible.
Подожди, а может выстрелить во что-то?
If I shot now, the gas station owner would fill my guts with lead before. No. It doesn't.
Да я знаю.
No.
Лампа, небось, нам понадобится, когда мы будем делать фоточку. Чтоб светило нам в хлебало. Блин.
Essex County, New Jersey. I've come a long way. Impossible.
Так, подождите. Может, в
It's the
машину?
car I use.
Ладно, ладно, хорошо. Давайте исследуем все прям перед
Open
тыком.
24 hours a day. I guess that's the only reason to go to a place like this. What a crazy idea. There are booze signs, but I don't recognize any of the brands. 10 cents for a gallon of gas and 8 for one of kerosene. Only in the countryside can you still find kerosene stations. Nowadays, it's only tractors that still use that type of fuel.
Так, что еще мы не потыкали? Это потыкали? Вроде да.
The sign in front of the station said kerosene.
Ну вот, это газ, это керосин.
The sign in front of the...
Ну да, в смысле газ, в смысле, в смысле бензин.
Mars gas station. If it weren't the only gas station open at this hour, I'd definitely have blown right past. I don't like this place.
Какие мы привередливые. Так, хорошо, что тут еще есть? Поливалку...
I hate people.
Нет.
It's the kitchen door. Considering the level of cleanliness in the rest of this joint, it's better that it stays closed.
Хорошо.
I
Ketchup.
don't need it.
Не нужен, да, кетчуп?
If I want a drink... Jefferson Davis, fantastic. Not for me. If I get...
А если я выстрелю туда? А для чего тогда это?
No. No. It's a terrible... It doesn't... No.
Господи,
It isn't
я не очень пока понимаю. Я, в принципе, догадываюсь, наверное, пепельница
an
нужна
iron
будет.
ashtray.
А, она железная. Она, наверное, нужна будет для фотографий, либо для лампы.
No.
Ну да. Точно нет.
It's a terrible...
Что ж с тобой сделать-то?
You again?
I have to go.
Okay.
Слушайте, ладно, давайте тогда остановимся здесь, потому что я что-то смотрю, серия это уже ого-го. В общем, в следующей серии продолжим, потыкаемся еще, потому что, честно говоря, я вроде как понимаю, но что-то как-то не очень. Поэтому будем гадать в следующей серии, как бы там ни было. Если эта серия вам понравилась, ставьте пальцы вверх, подписывайтесь на канал, зовите друзей. Увидимся с вами в следующей. Всем огромное спасибо за ваше внимание. С вами была Севен. Всем удачи. Пока-пока.